personal, just watching the kids experience it. And for me, I would say, they're two little kids, Ian and Taylor, who recently passed from cancer. And throughout our filming, I was communicating with them, knowing that they were both terminal. And what they said to me and their parents said, they're trying to hold on till this movie comes. And to a certain degree, you hear them say that and you're like, wow, that's like, I gotta get up and go to the gym. I gotta get up and go to work. I gotta learn these lines. I gotta work on this accent. Seeing how devoted all of my castmates are, and knowing that will be something meaningful to them. But it's, to a certain degree, it's a humbling experience, because you're like, this can't mean that much to them, But seeing how the world has taken this on, seeing how the movement, how it's taken on a life of its own, I realized that they anticipated something great. And I think back now to a kid and just, waiting for Christmas to come, waiting for my birthday to come, waiting for a toy that I was going to get a chance to experience, or a video game. I did live life waiting for those moments. And so it put me back in the mind of being a kid, just to experience those two little boys' anticipation of this movie. And when I found out that they...
Take your time with it.
Yeah, it means a lot.
Woo! It's a powerful imagery.
Obviously, so bear with us. Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace.
Without a doubt. The shock of the week.
Dude, like, I have no words. Rest in peace, King. Out of nowhere, and it's not processed yet, and like, I don't know, man. I'm like devastated. I'm devastated, and I shouldn't be devastated, because we should be celebrating the life of this great, beautiful man. This is a king. Chadwick, to me, was a legend. He was more than an actor. He was more than a black man. He was more than a husband, son. He was a legend. I once said that the greatest gift that you can give to anyone is inspiration. And Chadwick, no cap, is someone who really inspired me and will continue to inspire me. Dude, I'm feeling it. I'm sorry. I'm feeling it. I'm really feeling it on this one. And the camera's on, so you're gonna see it. Yeah, but yeah.
Let me add more to that. I feel the same way you do also. Look at, there's a lot of young boys, white boys, black boys, whatever it might be, young children. Now, for a lot of young white kids, they grew up with their Supermans and their Spider-Mans and their Hulks.
Batman, stuff like
that. Now, for a whole new generation of young black boys, the Black Panther meant a lot to them.
Huge.
And it's important that they have a chance to appreciate somebody like him.
Yeah, because as a man of color, and just and as a man in general, you need you want role models, you want people that you can look up to, and like Chadwick was one of those gentlemen. Like he was one of those
at the right time, at the right time, in the right year, and everything came together except for his health.
Yeah,
he was the right guy. I mean, like I said, there's a generation of young people that never had their idol. You know?
Yeah.
And here he is.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times the young kids today, they rely upon sports idols.
Yes.
But for Chadman, he was a Superman in a costume called the Black Panther.
Yeah. And
created by Jack Kirby, by the way.
And he played like a lot of pivotal roles. You know, Jackie Robinson, 42.
Yep.
Thurgood Marshall, Black Panther, T'Challa.
Sure.
The Five Bloods. Like he played a lot of strong roles that young black men could look up to and aspire to. You know, he was college graduate.
Yes.
You know, Howard. And Denzel Washington played a pivotal role. You know, he saw something to advance his career.
Yeah, he saw something.
Yeah, he saw something in Chadwick. Everything that we all saw. Like this was a magical man. I had a friend, and I don't want to sidetrack too much, but I had a friend. His name was Ishmael. He passed away, and he was one of those guys where no one had anything bad to say about him. Everybody, he never had anything bad to say about anybody, and it was always love. It was always good things, and I feel the same way about Chadwick. Like nothing bad to say, and it's so deep.
You know, the casting agents knew that they were onto something when they brought him into all the films he was in. Because if you look at it, you know, he was involved in about 15, 16 films. There's 2 more films that were in post-production after he passed away. One is finished or completed, which will be out probably early next year. Another one is going to take a little longer to finish it up. Hopefully they had enough footage of the gentleman before he passed on. But the casting agents knew what they were doing.
Absolutely.
Because he didn't get those roles if they weren't important roles.
No. And
his talent was there, and they knew it, and it was special.
He was a tremendous talent.
And he probably would have grown further to it.
No, absolutely.
At 43, he had so much life ahead of him.
He was so young. And think about the fact that he's a king in his real life. He dealt with this disease, colon cancer. No one knew. He didn't put it out to the public, and he just maintained that as a man. I lost my uncle 2.5 years ago to cancer. And cancer's rough. I've lost a few friends to cancer. It's rough. For him to go on and continue to do his craft and make his art, that's the epitome of tough. That's the epitome of what a man, you know, what a human being should be. He wanted to give back. And
even though he was full of pain, he sacrificed because he wanted to give back. He knew his time was limited on the planet. As he made all these great films, he already knew he was sick. Because when they found it, he already knew he was stage 4.
Yeah.
And he held on. He took his medicine.
4 years.
4 years. And if you look at the amount of films in that time, all those films, if you go back to...
he did 4 Avengers films, 4 Marvel films, all $1 billion. Black Panther, one of the most profitable, I believe it's the most profitable Marvel film ever.
Oh, it is, without a doubt. You go back to 42, which is Jackie Robinson, extremely important for a lot of cultural reasons. Captain America Civil War.
Another great film.
Right? Obviously, he plays Thurgood Marshall in Marshall, which is shot here in Buffalo,
Some of that shot here.
Phenomenal. Obviously, he gets the first Black Panther film that first came out before the Avengers Infinity War.
Yes.
And that leads into Endgame, which is also extremely powerful, and he wraps it up with The Five Bloods.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, these are all very important films. So, I mean, maybe some of these people knew he was sick. I don't really know. But this dude got loaded up with some of the best possible films he could have.
I don't think anybody knew.
He kept it quiet, didn't he?
Yeah. His last film, I believe, is going to be Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, which is going to be released on Netflix sometime this year.
Yeah, he plays Levi. He plays that in that particular role. Then there's Yasuki.
Okay.
Which is in post-production. He plays the character Yasuki. I'm going to guess it's an action film, maybe a sword and sorcery or a samurai-style film, possibly. Who knows? But he obviously knew what he had to do, and he left a legacy for thousands of young boys, especially boys who are black, you know?
Yeah, and it's...
Any young kid obviously fell in love with him.
Yeah.
Any color.
You know, so much charisma on film, and... A lot of times we talk about actors who have their faux pas or who do certain things, but then we have those actors who are like in a very small elite in Hollywood who have no problems.
Yeah.
There's no misconceptions.
Everybody wants to cast a guy such as that because you know you're going to get the amazing talent.
Everyone has said that this was such a great human being to work with. He had one of the biggest smiles I've ever seen in my life. And you got to think about the man was going through cancer. And, he was just bright. And everybody said that, a lot of people said they had no clue. And everybody was like, he was such a joy to be around, like such an amazing presence. And everything that he did, visiting hospitals, visiting, kids who are also ill. And knowing that he himself is going through something that may or may not end his life prematurely. Like, the strength that it takes.
The strength and the intestinal fortitude that he was able to bring out is pretty stunning. It really is. Here's a couple of neat facts about the gentleman too. He's been working pretty continuously since 2003.
That's awesome.
He's been on countless TV shows to learn his craft. He's, like I said earlier, he's in 15, 16 films before he passed away.
That's beautiful.
The dude, that's obviously one of the most prolific black men there's ever been in Hollywood.
King.
And they're starting to say nowadays that he actually set a standard for the modern black man in many, many ways. He definitely influenced so many different levels, not just necessarily for young people, but for any of the teenagers, adult males, because that's what you want to be. The same way John Lewis did his thing and MLK did his thing, Chadwick did the same thing for all these people. He left a legacy that they're going to write books about it. They're going to name streets after him and call cities after him and whatever it might be. It's pretty stunning. And what do we hear about Denzel? Didn't Denzel have something to do with his early career, I believe?
Denzel, I don't know what contribution he made. I don't know if it was 100% or to what portion.
He was studying in England at the time, I believe, right?
He made a contribution towards Chadwick's college. Like he pretty much gave him money. Yes, to his acting school, which
so he saw the potential.
Which was a gift to us, for allowing this man to inhabit. Because he didn't take roles that were easy. He took roles that were huge shoes to fill, and he stepped in with grace. He stepped in with poise, and he stepped in with the respect for each and every role. I've never seen Chadwick in a bad scene. Mr.
Exactly.
Boseman,
right.
Really, Marvel movies aside, everything aside, everything I've seen him in, he really portrayed. He looked like an actor who was dedicated and who really gave it his all.
Yeah.
And doing my research, he was a family man. He got married, who gave his all. He, when he passed, he was with his family. He was surrounded by his family and the people that he loved. And once again, I was shocked. It was Saturday night. I was going through Twitter, and it was on the main page, so it wasn't even like a hoax. And I was just like, please don't let this be real.
I was shocked when I saw it. I saw it Saturday morning. I think it happened Friday night. I think it was.
It felt like when Nipsey died. It felt like when Kobe died. It was just one of those things that it took a monumental toll that I just wasn't really ready to deal with. I'm not going to be ready for this. He was too young. He's 43. I'm 40. He was 3 years older than me.
Just imagine this, though. Just imagine this. The next time you watch this film or any one of these films, it's going to be tough to digest because you know that this great man gave his all for you for this film that you're enjoying. They're going to be complicated films to watch. They're going to be emotional, but find the beauty and the joy in it, folks. Don't just. It's good to have your emotions, but also, enjoy what he did. I mean, take pride in what he did because he did it for us. He left it for you folks.
Before we wrap this up, can we just give a moment of silence?
Sure. I feel it, man.
We got through it?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. This is the weigh-in, and thank you for listening to us.
Love you, Chadwick. Rest in power, King. Love you, King. Love you.
We're going to miss you, man. But what you did is always going to remain. Rest in peace.
That was tough, man.
Yeah, that was a good episode. Not easy to do, but...
The King, man. Rest in peace to the King.
In my culture, death is not the end. It's more of a stepping off point. You reach out with both hands and Bast and Sekhmet. They lead you into the green veldt where you can run forever.
That sounds very peaceful.
My father thought so.